Discover fall protection solutions for ATAS's standing seam panels.
Distributors, and I've recently written a blog about ATAS International. What we're discussing is compatible fall protection for their standing seam panels. So they make 4 different product lines within their standing seam division. We're going to go through those. If you look at this blog on our website, it does a deep dive into the company history, and it actually goes into each panel. So with each, like for instance, the Dutch seam, there's different seam heights, different widths. There's a lot of variations of these panels, but basically the Dutch seam is a typical snap lock. The Field-Lok has 4 different seam height variations. This is their mechanical lock seam. The Colonial Seam is a nail strip snap lock. We still treat this like standing seam, but there are fasteners that screw into this nail flange right here, and then those fasteners are hidden by the next panel. So there's a lot of different seam height variations. We'll go in depth on that. That's a very compatible with our equipment. And then the PC system, this is an unusual panel. This is a 1-inch standing seam, but it has a full batten cover over that seam. So our primary anchors, our seam anchors, are not going to be compatible with this, but we are going to talk about another alternative solution for you. So depending on which seam you have, if you drop down here to our quick reference chart, as you can see across the top, you've got the Dutch seam, the Field-Lok, the Colonial Seam. These are all compatible. The PC system with the batten strip, this is not going to be compatible with these first few products that we're discussing. It is going to be compatible with the Ridge Pro down here. But let's start with the seam anchors. So the SSRA1 with the cup tip, this is our standard anchor. This locks onto the seam with 12 non-penetrating set screws. This is going to be compatible with about 95% of today's standing seam panels, as long as they're 22 or 24 gauge steel and straight non-curved panels. Curved panels that's more of a specialty in fall protection. You should have a trained safety expert inspect a roof like that before determining what kind of fall protection to use. So we're always talking about steel panels, straight non-curved. Okay, so the great thing about these anchors is they accept adapter plates. So once a contractor owns a set of these, you can add adapter plates to expand the functionality. For instance, if you need to have 10-foot walkboards on a roof for your workers, nice stable footing area, you can add the SSRA2 roof jack adapters. The red adapter on top is adjustable for different pitch roofs, and the side feet are height adjustable for different height seams. You want to keep those feet down on the panel so when you're walking on the boards, they're not wobbling all over the place. So this is a very versatile product, and these mount right on top of the SSRA1s with the D-ring removed. And you can put 10-foot walkboards with one set of SSRA2 roof jacks. The next adapter is the SSRA3 Anchor Plate. So this is for adding temporary horizontal lifelines to standing seam roofs without penetration. So this SSRA3 plate is going to mount on top of 2 SSRA1 anchors with the D-rings removed, and you'll have one of those assemblies at each end of a 100-foot horizontal lifeline. Now remember, you don't have to go to 100 feet. We do sell a kit that includes a 100-foot rope, but if you need 63 feet, there's a rope tensioner. You can use that 100-foot rope and just tighten it down to 63 feet and mount your plates the appropriate distance, and you can make it any distance shorter than 100 feet as well. You're not stuck at 100 feet. So an alternative product that we recommend is the Ridge Pro. This is called the Ridge Pro Steep Assist, and what this is really good at is on 612 to 1212 pitch roofs on almost any roof type. This can provide an anchor point for a single worker. So this mounts on the end of a 16-foot pole. As you see, there's a wheel on there. The worker can be on a ladder. He can run it up with the pole on the wheel, flip it over the peak, and when it goes up, it brings a vertical lifeline with it. So as soon as it flips over the peak, it's providing an anchor point for that worker. So as soon as he steps off that ladder to the roof, he's 100% tied off. So he can do the task he needs to do, safely get back to the ladder, and he's tied off that entire time. And once he's safely back to the ladder, only then does he release the anchor and bring it back down. So very versatile product. A lot of home inspectors, lightning rod installers, Christmas light installers, folks like that, they love the Ridge Pro. It's good for inspection tasks and simple tasks. Now, for long-term work, there are holes in the flange. You can mount this down and work all day on it if you want to. But the Ridge Pro, very versatile, different roof types. As long as it's 612 to 1212, this is something we recommend. And as you can see on compatibility, it's all the way across because you're not relying on that batten strip. You're not relying on how thick a seam is. You're just hooking over the peak of the roof. So the whole structure of the roof is actually providing the strength for that in the event of a fall. So one other solution that we have a very unique kit that we sell. It's for more permanent horizontal lifelines. So for these panels that might need the Dutch seam, Field-Lok, or Colonial seam, if you feel like a more permanent horizontal lifeline is required, galvanized steel cable, plates, posts, we do offer a 120-foot kit. We work with Super Anchor on that, and they provide the parts for that. And that's just a great solution out of the box. Gives you 120 feet, gives you the post, the intermediate post, the end post, the cable, the termination equipment. Really good solution for the Dutch Field-Lok or Colonial seam for ATAS. So if you have any questions about any of our equipment or any of these panels, you can reach us. Our phone number is up here in the top right. Our email is support@fallpd.com.